Do psychic power really exist, or it's just a myth that has been a quest for a long time? Few people believe it exists, few don't. Many researchers have conducted experiments to prove its existence. We know the definition of psychic power, but how did this word come into existence? French astronomer and spiritualist Camille Flammarion was the first to use the term psychic. Later, it was introduced to the English language by Edward William Cox. I strongly believe that psychic power does exist. Let me give my explanation for it. Psychic power is also a type of sense like how we have other senses: feeling, seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling. Science tells us that of all the five senses, feeling was the original fundamental sense, rest all others are modifications of and specialized forms of this fundamental sense of feeling. To understand about psychic power, we must first understand about the five senses. How do the five senses work? The eyes record the touch or feeling of the light waves which strike upon it. Ear records the touch or feeling of the sound waves or vibrations of air which reach it. Tongue records the chemical touch of particles of food coming in contact with taste buds. Nose records chemical touch of gases which contact its mucous membrane. Do these sense organs work on their own? No. Sense organs don't identify the presence of objects on their own. They receive information from nerves and brain and then carry out their work accordingly. For example, if you sever the nerves leading to the eye, although the eye will continue to register perfectly, still no message will reach the brain. And render the brain unconscious, no message will reach it from the nerves connecting to the eyes, ear, nose, tongue or surface of the body. Cut off from these messages, the mind would be blank. If all senses are cut off, a part of our world will feel like diminishing. Likewise, if a new sense is added, our world will seem like increasing. We do not realize this as a rule. Think how the world of a blind person will be compared to a normal human. They will not know how colors will be. They can only know everything by touch, smell, taste, sound. They have been deprived from knowing about a part of the world. On contrary, think how the world would be when you get mind reading power. There will be no secrets left to be kept from you. Wouldn't it be wonderful to experience such things? Many psychic powers can be attained by apparatus designed by brain of man. Man is a good imitator and adapter of nature. When human could do so much advancement in technologies, medicine and all other fields, why not in this? Experiments. Military interest in psychic powers, OBE. The Washington Post has learned that the CIA and the NSA, National Security Administration, participated in a series of highly unusual but successful experiments using astral projection and other psychic phenomena to spy on military installations. The CIA/NSA experiments were uncovered by Post writer John Wilhelm, who published a book on psychic phenomena called The Search for Superman. According to Wilhelm, the most bizarre experiments involved two high-ranking Scientologists, Ingo Swann and Pat Price, who were able to leave their bodies and view locations halfway around the globe. This process is commonly known as astral projection or remote viewing. The psychic experiments were conducted in 1974 at the Stanford Research Institute, where both Swann and Price were carefully monitored and subjected to rigorous controls by CIA agents. Both of them agreed that they projected and the experiment was successful. Astral projection is the most experimented among psychic powers. Not only this military experiment, many other experiments were also conducted on astral projection. There are enough books on how to succeed in astral projection. Both astral projection or OBE and lucid dreaming are more or less similar. Out-of-body experiences, OBEs or UBEs, are situations when it feels like you are separated from your sleeping or unconscious body, and yet you're able to observe your unconscious form from an angle, which is usually above the body. We can't blindly tell that astral projection is fake. Even ordinary people like you and I get to have an OBE while we sleep. In fact, it is believed that a good number of people often detach their consciousness from their sleeping form without knowing it. Most even forget about the experience once they wake up. Have you ever woken up with so much of sweat or fast heartbeat and felt like you were coming from a different world but didn't remember anything, or gotten to feel like the dream was so real like you have actually visited the place? If so, then agree that OBE do exist. Middle. Experiments in telekinesis. It is an ability to move objects through mind. We might have seen telekinesis performed by magicians. Is it just a trick or a psychic power? The CIA conducted and funded several experiments testing stage magician Uri Geller's ability to use psychic powers. In their most controlled test with their most skeptical scientists, they still reported that Geller could bend a strip of metal by 10 degrees. But there is no complete detail on how this was done. Some researchers claim that the possibility of telekinesis being real could have associations with the formation of powerful physical fields. Telekinesis generates a strong electromagnetic field and acoustic signals that last about 0.1 to 0.01 seconds. Dr. Robert G. Yan, the head of the Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research, PEAR, conducted a series of experiments on consciousness-related anomalous phenomena such as telekinesis, which aimed to confirm the possibility that the human mind can affect material objects. Subjects had to move a pendulum, placed under a transparent plastic cap. They were also asked to affect a variety of devices and liquid media, such as highly precise chronometers, lasers, electrical generators of electromagnetic radiation, and water. As a result, some subjects did show evidence of psychic abilities, but the observed effects were too small, counting for about 0.1%. There are no much experiments or proof for telekinesis existence, but in future more experiments will surely happen and prove telekinesis existence. After all, change is the only thing that never changes. Middle. Clairvoyance. The most spoken topic, clairvoyance. Movies have provoked our interest a lot to know more about clairvoyance. If you search for psychic prediction in Google, you will notice that most people have clairvoyant ability. When you enjoy seeing horror movies and get excited, then why people are not ready to believe clairvoyance exists? Imagination is a part of reality. There will be some truth behind all imaginative stories. Clairvoyance is nothing but a spiritual vision. Clairvoyance, like many other things in nature, is mainly a question of vibrations. You will understand what do I mean by vibration when you read psychic laws and principles, and is in fact nothing but an extension of powers which we are all using in our everyday lives. We are living all the while surrounded by a vast sea of mingled air and ether, the latter interpenetrating the former, as it does all physical matter, and it is chiefly by means of vibrations in that vast sea of matter that impressions reach us from the outside. This may never have occurred to many of us that the number of these vibrations to which we are capable of responding is in reality quite minute. Among the exceedingly rapid vibrations which affect the ether, there is a certain small section to which retina of human eye is capable of responding, and these particular vibrations produce in us the sensations which we call light. I have said all these to tell you that we are capable of seeing only objects from which light of that particular kind can issue or reflect. There is much light that we cannot see. Let me give you another example. Every human range of vibration of seeing differs. Have you played Spot the Difference game? Did everyone were able to find out all the differences? No, right? This proves that clairvoyance exists. Psychic laws and principles. Everything is in a state of vibration. Everything has its own rate of vibration and is constantly manifesting it. Every mental state is accompanied by vibration of its own plane. Every emotional state has its own particular rate of vibration. Frater Albertus, in his book, The Alchemist Handbook, has defined alchemy as the raising of vibrations. Don't you feel that every subject in this world is interconnected? Every law and principle tell one particular thing in different ways. We will discuss about it later. These rate of vibration manifest just as do the vibrations of musical sound, which produce the several notes on the scale, one rising above the other in rate of vibration. To those whom vibrations seem to be something merely connected with sound waves, I would say that a general glance at some elementary work on physical science will show even the different shade of colors perceived by us arise from different rate of vibrations. Above the ordinary scale of light vibrations are the vibrations of X-rays and other forces that are not perceived by eyes but caught by delicate instruments and recorded. Likewise, there are the vibrations of the astral counterparts of these physical senses which are much higher in the scale. There is a famous axiom: as above, so below; as below, so above. Conclusion. Why do we need lab experiments when there is a live proof that psychic power does exist? Animals are those live examples. Dogs have superior hearing ability. They can register noises at frequencies that humans cannot even imagine. If we can hear something 20 feet away, a dog can hear it from 80 feet away. In addition, dogs' ears are known to have 18 muscles. They can move around and rotate in the direction of a sound. Dogs can often perceive the beginning of an impending earthquake in real time. Some suggest that this is due to their ability to hear underground seismic activity that is beyond our range of hearing. Have you ever wondered why dogs are used in police force when we humans are more capable and we have the so-called sixth sense that animals don't have? Because we humans go behind logics and animals go behind vibrations. When you understand that psychic power is nothing but raising of vibrations, then everyone will attain it. Reference 1. Book, Clairvoyance and Occult Powers by Swami Panchadasi. 2. Beyond Psychic Powers Part 1, Siddhasrupananda.com. 3. What is astral projection? What you should know, Astral Wonders. 4. Top 10 Unbelievable Ways the CIA Experimented with Psychic Powers, Listverse. 5. Is there any scientific evidence that telekinesis exists? Learning Mind, learningmind.com. 6. Book, Clairvoyance by C.W. Ledbetter. 7. Does your dog possess the sixth sense? Vision Times.